The Woman Who Fights Alone, a silent warrior's story of courage and hope. Imagine a vast arena, its echoes filled with the deafening roar of life's battles. But this isn't a place of cheering fans or supportive allies. It's the arena of existence, where every choice, every setback, and every triumph plays out before an invisible crowd. In this space, critics whisper doubts, fears creep in like shadows, and the harsh inner voice declares, "You're not enough." Now, picture a woman standing alone in the center of this arena. She has no team, no safety net, and no applause to validate her presence. She doesn't wear shining armor or wield polished weapons. Instead, she carries burdens unseen, the weight of responsibility, fear, and relentless determination. She steps forward not for glory or recognition, but because life has left her no other choice. This is the woman who fights alone. Her courage is not the kind we see in grand victories or triumphant parades. It's quiet, steady, and relentless. It's the kind of bravery that looks like rising every morning, even when her soul feels heavy and her strength is drained. Courage in this context isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to keep going despite it. As C.S. Lewis once said, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Her battles are not adorned with medals or trophies. They are private, fought in silence, and often overlooked. Yet they are no less significant. In fact, the most grueling fights are often the ones unseen by the world. She faces challenges that seem insurmountable, yet she chooses to stand, not because she is unafraid, but because she believes in something greater than fear. In her solitude, she carries the weight of expectations, from society, from others, and from herself. There are no shortcuts or reprieves. Every stumble is hers to bear, every victory hers to claim. And while the world may not see her struggles, her story is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The Bible reminds us, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Even when she feels utterly alone, there is a source of strength beyond what she can see. This unseen presence becomes her anchor, her guide, and her reason to keep moving forward. As we delve into her journey, we'll uncover not only the challenges she faces, but the extraordinary strength and hope she embodies. She reminds us that courage is not about perfection or applause, it's about persistence. It's about choosing to step into life's arena every single day, knowing that the fight is worth it. The woman who fights alone is not a symbol of isolation, but of quiet, powerful defiance. She teaches us that even when the odds are stacked against us, we can rise. Her story is a reminder that in the silence of our struggles, we are never truly alone. The weight of silent battles. In the arena of life, standing alone isn't a choice, it's a necessity. For the woman who fights alone, every day begins with a decision to show up. She steps forward, not because she feels ready or capable, but because she has no other option. Life doesn't wait for her to feel strong. Her battles are not the ones we celebrate in stories or movies. There are no thunderous victories or climactic wins. Her challenges are quieter, but no less profound. She fights the weight of unrelenting responsibilities as a parent, a worker, a caretaker. She wrestles with fears that whisper lies into her mind. You're not good enough. You'll never succeed. Society often misunderstands her struggle. It demands perfection but offers no support. Her courage doesn't fit the narrative of heroism we often romanticize. It's not loud or dramatic. It's waking up despite the exhaustion, putting one foot in front of the other, and daring to face another day. The Bible provides a powerful reminder for her. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Though the world may not see the battle she fights, she clings to the hope of rest and renewal from a strength beyond her own. Her battles are not just external, they rage within her mind. Silent wars fought in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The questions come in waves. What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if no one notices how hard I'm trying? These aren't the doubts of weakness. They are the echoes of a society that values results over resilience, victory over vulnerability. The woman who fights alone must contend with these voices daily, countering them with her quiet resolve. Every choice to persist is a small act of rebellion against the odds stacked against her. She knows failure is possible, maybe even likely. But she also knows that giving up isn't an option. As C.S. Lewis observed, hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. Her struggles remain unseen by most. There is no audience to applaud her perseverance or validate her effort. Yet she presses on, not for recognition, but because she knows her fight matters. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over fear and doubt. Persistence is her greatest strength. It's not glamorous or celebrated, but it is profound. It's the decision to keep moving forward when her body aches, her mind is weary, and her heart feels heavy. It's the choice to rise each morning and face a world that often feels indifferent to her struggles. Her persistence doesn't just impact her own life, it sends ripples outward. Her quiet bravery becomes an example for others who feel too afraid to step into their own arenas. She shows them that courage isn't about winning, it's about showing up, again and again. The scars she carries, whether visible or invisible, are not marks of failure, but badges of resilience. They are proof that she has faced the storm and endured. They remind her, and anyone watching, that survival is its own kind of triumph. In her persistence, she embodies a profound truth. Courage doesn't eliminate fear, it overcomes it. And for the woman who fights alone, every day she continues is a testament to the power of resilience and the quiet strength of hope. Vulnerability as strength. In a world that often equates strength with invincibility, vulnerability is misunderstood. Society celebrates those who seem unshakable, those who never falter. But the woman who fights alone knows the truth. Strength doesn't mean the absence of struggle. It means facing life's challenges with honesty and grace, even when it hurts. Her strength isn't found in pretending everything is fine. It's found in the quiet moments when she admits to herself, "I'm not okay, but I'll keep going." Vulnerability becomes her weapon, not a weakness. She embraces her imperfections and acknowledges her struggles, understanding that they are part of what makes her human. As the Bible teaches, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12:9. This truth reminds her that strength isn't about doing everything alone. It's about trusting in something greater to carry her through. For the woman who fights alone, silence can be both a shield and a prison. She hides her battles out of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of being seen as weak, fear of burdening others. Yet deep down, she knows that true strength comes from breaking that silence. Speaking out about her struggles doesn't make her weak, it makes her courageous. It's an act of defiance against a world that tells her to keep quiet. Vulnerability allows her to let others in, to seek connection and understanding. But breaking the silence is no easy task. It requires trust, not just in others, but in herself. It means risking rejection or misunderstanding. It means letting go of the facade she has carefully built. Yet, with every step she takes toward vulnerability, she discovers something profound. She is not alone. C.S. Lewis captured this beautifully. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. In choosing vulnerability, she opens herself to love, for others, for herself, and for life itself. Vulnerability doesn't just heal her, it transforms her relationships. When she allows herself to be seen, she creates space for others to do the same. Her courage to share her struggles becomes an invitation for others to lower their walls and embrace authenticity. This openness fosters deep, meaningful connections. It's not about perfection or polished appearances, but about shared humanity. In her willingness to show her scars, she reminds others that they are not alone in their battles. The woman who fights alone becomes a beacon of hope, not because she is flawless, but because she is real. Her story inspires others to step into their own arenas, to face their fears, and to find strength in vulnerability. Her journey teaches us a powerful truth. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to bravery. It's an act of trust in herself, in others, and in the process of life. By embracing vulnerability, she redefines what it means to be strong. As she learns to lean on others and draw strength from her faith, she finds that the burden becomes lighter. She discovers that even in her weakest moments, she is never truly alone. Vulnerability transforms her, allowing her to grow and heal. It gives her the courage to face the world with an open heart, even when it hurts. And in doing so, she shows us all that true strength lies not in invincibility, but in authenticity. The quiet power of hope. The woman who fights alone carries scars, both visible and invisible. These scars are not blemishes or signs of failure. Instead, they are marks of her resilience and survival. Each scar tells a story of battles faced, storms weathered, and challenges overcome. Society often glorifies perfection, but she understands that true beauty lies in imperfection. Her scars are symbols of growth, strength, and endurance. They remind her of the battles she has fought and the strength it took to stand her ground. As the Bible reminds us, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. These scars, while painful, are also evidence of healing. They are a testament to the transformative power of grace and resilience. Hope for the woman who fights alone is not a loud proclamation. It is a quiet, steady defiance against despair. It is the spark that refuses to be extinguished, even in the darkest moments. This hope does not come easily. It is born from the small victories, the mornings she gets out of bed, the moments she chooses to keep going, the times she dares to dream of a better tomorrow. Hope is her rebellion against the weight of life's challenges, a reminder that no storm lasts forever. The Bible offers her a promise of hope. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. This assurance becomes her anchor, giving her the courage to persevere even when the odds seem insurmountable. What makes her journey so extraordinary is its ripple effect. Her quiet courage inspires others who are watching from the shadows, afraid to step into their own arenas. Her story becomes a lifeline for those who feel alone in their struggles. She doesn't realize it, but her persistence and vulnerability are acts of leadership. They encourage others to face their own battles and find their strength. Her scars, her hope, and her willingness to keep moving forward light the way for others who are lost in the darkness. As C.S. Lewis said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Her journey shows us all that it's never too late to rise, to hope, and to strive for a better future. Hope is not the absence of struggle. It is the belief that something better lies ahead. The woman who fights alone clings to this belief, even when the path is unclear. She teaches us that hope is not found in grand gestures or perfect endings, but in the quiet decision to keep going, one step at a time. Her story is a reminder that we are never truly alone. Even in the silence of our struggles, there is a presence that walks with us, a light that guides us, and a hope that sustains us. As the Bible commands us, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. This promise, this unwavering truth, becomes her strength and her song. In her quiet perseverance, she becomes a testament to the power of hope. She shows us that even in the darkest of times, there is light to be found, and it begins with the choice to believe. The woman who fights alone. The story of the woman who fights alone is not one of loud victories or celebrated achievements. It's the quiet, unrelenting courage of someone who chooses to rise every day despite the weight of her burdens. She doesn't fight for recognition or applause. She fights because she believes in something greater, a life worth living, a hope worth clinging to, and a future worth fighting for. Her journey reminds us of the profound truth. Strength is not about being unshakable, but about continuing to stand when the ground beneath us trembles. Her scars, both visible and invisible, are not marks of defeat but badges of honor. They tell the story of her resilience, her growth, and her belief in the possibility of something better. In a world that often celebrates perfection and invincibility, the woman who fights alone teaches us the beauty of imperfection and vulnerability. She shows us that real courage is found in authenticity, in facing life's challenges with an open heart, even when it hurts. Her story calls us to honor our own battles, to embrace our vulnerabilities and find strength in them, to step into the arena of life, even when the odds are against us. As C.S. Lewis so wisely said, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Her fight is a reminder that we are not alone, even when we feel isolated. The Bible promises, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. This assurance is not just for her, but for all of us. So to the woman who fights alone and to all who face silent battles, know this: your courage matters, your persistence inspires, and your hope lights the way for others who are watching from the shadows. Your story is one of defiance, resilience, and quiet triumph. You are not defined by the struggles you face, but by the strength with which you face them. You are proof that even in the darkest moments there is light to be found, and that light, born of hope and faith, has the power to transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Let us all take inspiration from her journey. Let us step into our own arenas with courage, embrace our vulnerabilities with strength, and hold on to hope with steadfast hearts. Because in the end, it's not about whether we win or lose, but about the bravery it takes to keep showing up day after day. As we leave her story, let us remember, the woman who fights alone is never truly alone. Her fight, her strength, and her hope are a testament to the enduring power of faith and the resilience of the human spirit.